Once again with the MIA Microflight, October 8, Wednesday 2025. I have been doing some short videos on the some of these early helicopters, historic helicopters coming out from MIA Microflight, products that I designed back in the day. Decided to bring this back. Why? Because I think it's interesting, number one, and not many people are aware of this, that these helicopters existed back in the day. Considering also that a lot of these new helicopters that are coming out are, newer products, and some people, they think that these things are fairly new. They're not. This is a Housefly helicopter. It's a sub-micro size that I did back in 2002. Is when I have this marked. It's been a while, so bear with me here. And I have been taking out some of this stuff just to talk about, because I think it's interesting to showcase this for those that like history, a bit of history, and in the micro helicopter realm. As you can see here in this video, this is a just a board that and this is how I used to keep all my parts, for the different helicopters products. I always did a board, and then I laid out all the parts that were part of that kit. And so this is what you're viewing here, beginning with the frame components. As I showed in this other video here, this is the original Housefly as the frame is assembled, and those are the pieces that you're seeing here. What you're seeing here is the frame, which is that plywood frame you're seeing with the carbon rods right there, which makes up for the struts for the landing gear. The aluminum skids, along with some additional carbon rods that made support for the tail. This one doesn't have the support for the tail, but that one actually has support for the tail, just like this one here. This is a later version that I did with fiberglass components here. The injection molded pieces, all these injection molded pieces, as I said in my other video, I had to do all this stuff from scratch. I had to make my own molds using believe it or not, I used a Sherline mill. If you're familiar with the Sherline products, check it out. Those miniature mills and lathes. I actually acquired one from a gentleman that was selling one fully loaded with a CNC equipment. So that's how I did my molds, on the Sherline. Little tiny stuff like that is the Sherline is great for, to making parts and molds. I actually sold that. I said in my other video that I was making these with the fiberglass squash plates. I actually did the Housefly with an aluminum squash plate, as you see it there, and an injection molded top part right here. All these ball links are, came with individually with little tiny screws. And the links somewhere there should be links here somewhere. Where are those links? Oh, the links are over here. And so those are the links. You can see how tiny those links are. Once again, they have my initials even on the links. I was putting my initials there. Some material, to do the support for the servo holders. This is just some heavy duty, I believe, paper based material. My blade, which is fiberglass. Actually, these were not fiberglass, but these were linen. These were linen-based sheets of material that I was CNC cutting and then molding with heat. So that's the tail blade, and that's the main blades. The gears, as you can see here, I was actually supplying these 100 tooth gear, and I believe those are 75 for the tail, 100 for the main, ball bearings. And so that's the sub-micro, and I labeled this H300 because that's how I was selling the Housefly. As you see it right there, and that's how this model turned out, once you were done with it. So a very nice little kit that I did back in like I said, in 2002, when I took the to the market and started supplying these as a builder's kit. This is way before any helicopters started appearing on the market. So for historical purposes and reference, Mario once again, the MIA Housefly. Stay tuned for more.